Okay. They have said everything. Don't worry, they know me. You know.
Thank you very much.
Please sit down. Danny, I'm told that your wife is in the house. Now, the days I was not with you, I can see you were at Calabar. So I can testify that this project has fully occupied you. Let it be on record. My dear brothers and sisters, let me thank you very much for coming to this public engagement. There are some people that are here not because they have, money to claim in terms of the enumeration, but because of the love they have for this development, which is, seen into the future. And I can always say that Mr. President 27 years back saw into the future. And so this project is not just road construction, it is an investment. And, yes, when you see people that are still pretending to confront the project, it is out of envy and jealous. There's nothing more than that. Because I've run the figures, and I'm saying that even the inherited projects, that on existing road, the cost is higher than this project. And I want to thank very, very highly High-Tech. I've never seen a company working like that. They have 3 shifts. A company that has the capacity to do 1 kilometer of concrete pavement in 1 day. 3 shifts, all working. And not only they have 3 shifts, in one section they have more than 4 different sections doing the same work. And so, it is the taste of the food is in the eating. So I commend them very highly. A company that can do a project of 36 months in less than 18 months. We are saving money. But what we have to note is that there are a number of deviations on this section 1. For example, when we diverted to save a lot of properties as Mr. President directed, we encountered what we did not see during the design. And that was a stretch of over 5 kilometers where refuse were dumped. And they were dumped to a depth of over 10 meters. So that's going to introduce variation to the project. We have seen the filling of the road pavement. The road pavement, filled to unexpected, flood level. We have to build for about 50 years expected flood level. So we made sure that our level now is going to counter any climate change. And that has introduced our pavement level to be at the first floor of many buildings. And so to retain the road, we are going to be building retaining wall. It's already started. So we're doing that. And we also have, what nobody has ever said, the ducting, the cable ducts. So you don't have to cut the road, MTN, African Plus, or any other network. You don't cut the road. So the cables are there, and I saw it. What we have not known is that we are going to have CCTV on the road. So, and the response time for any issue will be less than 5 minutes. What we have not known is that this is an evacuation corridor. I've said this severally. We are going to be earning carbon credit by the reason of concrete, road pavement because it has low emission compared to asphalt. We are going to be earning carbon credit by reason of using solar because we are not burning diesel. This is very important. We are going to be having trees all through. So it's going to be a sight to behold. And I welcome you by the 25th of May to come and see what we have achieved. And by December, you will see wonders. At section 2, we have a lot of conflicts, but the ingenuity of High-Tech is giving us, full night's sleep. We have the Dangote refinery. You need about 60 meters clearance for the trucks to go in and out. We are now building a flyover. that has a span of 60 meters. And then the next span is 41.6 meter, counterbalanced by the next span. And then the rest is 22 and 23 meters. So we are flying over Dangote refinery. We are flying over Dangote fertilizer. We are flying over some other conflict points. And the 7-axle road is coming. We are still studying how to maneuver that. Because the train is coming at the middle. The train is coming from the Lekki Deep Sea Port. And then our road is coming. The Dangote tax credit is passing. The 7th axle road is passing. It's going to be a point to behold. But I assure you, we are going to achieve it. We are going to achieve it. It's going to be another, tourist site. It's going to be. And let me announce that along the corridor, there are lands that the state government has also, given us right so that we can build, our toll gate, we build our, I call it relief centers, where you can stop to have snacks, where you can stop to, buy petrol, supermarket, petrol station, and so on and so forth. Even mini medical facility will be there, and of course, tow van. So that if your vehicle is bad, like, the vehicle of the enumerators, because I saw the executive vehicles, then they have to be towed out immediately. But I'm sure they are doing a good job. They will be able to buy new vehicles. So this is very, very important. And major things we have achieved today in Section 1 is that, True Africa has come here to say, look, our claim is, is valid. We have cables there by themselves, and they came for thank you visit. And I thank you very much. You would have come with cow, for the thank you visit, so that I will share it with the others that are here, So, so that is showing, and why should anybody use them to lie, And I do the deeds of the man that appointed me. He said, don't destroy their cable. So why should I do that? And it would have affected the economy of this country. Just because a woman went to, acquire the village land, and left it bare for the past 20 years. And according to her, collected money from people in diaspora. Some of them that have not been in Nigeria for a very long time. And so I want these people in diaspora, don't give your money anyhow. Use this one to make some lessons. So we've seen the reason why we diverted from kilometer 13 and saved 7,500 houses of Okwaja community, even though they illegally built on the gazetted land. But God says, I'm God. I will show mercy to whom I will show mercy. And I will show compassion to whom I will show compassion. So compassion and mercy visited Okwaja community by reason of African, plus, as directed by Mr. President. Do not touch their cable, which would have destroyed our economy. So, we have to, Some people have argued, oh, you are just building in Lagos. No. Lagos, 48.47 and the 55 kilometers, barely about 100 kilometers by 2. We've started in Cross River, and of course, Akwa Ibom. We are going there on 14 Cross River to flag off the construction. Of course, High Tech has not been paid a kobo there, but they have already started. I pushed them to start. Then, by 15th, we also go to Akwa Ibom to flag off the construction. And so, that is 65 kilometers. It's even the worst terrain. By 2, that's 130 kilometers. Now, in the second legacy projects, the Sokoto Badagry, one section in Sokoto is 120 kilometers. 120. And we are about to start the second carriageway. In Kebbi, one section is 258 kilometers. And we are about to start the second carriageway. Which means that if we start the second carriageway, after the procurement, we have 240 kilometers in Sokoto. We have, 516 kilometers in Kebbi. And that has cleaned off whatever thing you have in within this axis. Now, the third section of Sokoto Badagry is going to start from Badagry. But we have very deep challenges there. We have, the rivers of 3 kilometers to cross. And that's a lot of money. And so we are proposing about 4 options. Working with High Tech, and of course we run it through Mr. President. He wants us to minimize the bridges as much as possible so that we can be very economical and then, enable us to achieve the project. And so we have proposed 4 options, which I'm going to be discussing with Mr. President. And then whichever option is chosen, then that is what we are going to, choose. So between Badagry to Lagos, of course, Badagry is in Lagos, Ogun and Oyo. It's 145 kilometers. But we have a challenge of 65 kilometers within this axis. And that's what we are going to be discussing. And the moment we discuss this, that's the third section of Sokoto, Badagry. Then we commence procurement, and of course work will commence. On the Lagos Calabar, we have the first section in Ondo. We also were confronted with a lot of bridges in Ondo. So we went there last month and we've agreed on the most economical route, avoiding those bridges and then benefiting the people. I was so impressed when I saw the work going on in Calabar. And that is the essence of this. You can see the vegetation. You can see the amount of development that is going to come along this route. This is investment, and this is commendable. And the third legacy project is the one that is coming from Calabar, going through my own state, through Enugu, through Benue, through Nasarawa, Kogi, Nasarawa, and Abuja. Unfortunately, it was not awarded to High Tech. And that's why you have not seen High Tech. I'm not afraid to say we have not seen much construction going on there. Because if it were High Tech, they would always start without any mobilization. So nothing much is going on that axis. And that's why, they are bombarding me everywhere in Southeast that something needed to be done. So I will go back to the drawing board and talk to the contractor, because my kinsmen, they are looking for my head. That project ought to start in the manner of High Tech. This is very important. And so the Akwanga, which is the fourth legacy project, that is going from, the Abuja to Makurdi. You tear off at, Kefi to Akwanga, Akwanga to Jos to Bauchi to Gombe. That's the fourth legacy project. So it's in a loop that is all connected. So the 4 legacy projects are all connected together, and no region is left aside. Can we put our hands together for Mr. President? Now, before I sit down, it's important to say that the press should work with us to lay, to sleep this issue of landmark. Having seen the truth, I want you to carry the advocacy, because no infrastructure of landmark was destroyed. We saw it here. We saw what it was before we passed. We saw what is there now that is we have passed. The same thing with the multi-million-dollar, woman. We saw what was there. We saw what is there now. So that people should stop asking us questions on this. We have explained enough. If there is more explanation, please ask us questions so that we can, conclude, that, so that everybody will be allowed to, exist. This bridge in Lagos, let me assure that the permanent temporal work is turning out to be the permanent work. We've been observing it, and we've not noticed any settlement. So in 3 weeks, if there's no settlement, that is the end of the job. No job will be done there again. But we went under the bridge. We observed that we need to work on the 4, pie caps. We've directed the buildware to commence action on that. We've also invited the Navy. We made an announcement that the waterway between Eko Bridge and Kata Bridge should be closed. But we need to know that in nation building, it's not just government. The people are involved. Why should we have trailers, buses loading on Kata Bridge? Independence Bridge, we have people that are taking fishes from the sea and are selling it. Vehicle would come there and park and to buy fish. That is not good enough. That's not good enough. So I want Nigerians, Lagosians to help us. Our bridges are not designed for static loads. They are designed for dynamic load. Let us not allow hawking on our bridges. Let us not allow vehicles to park on our bridges. This is very important. You know, if we don't do this, and what happened at Independence Bridge happen again, of course there is no choice. You have to close the bridge. Even if we do announcement of 1 month, the point is that the people will suffer. These bridges were not constructed by us. The bridges have aged, and so we have to manage the bridges while we continue with the maintenance being effected under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. This is very, very important. So let nobody go for now, because the dredger ship hit one of the pile caps and completely destroyed one, pile. We've directed Beja to begin the design to replace that, which is a very technical thing, to replace it and connect it back and remove the rods, because if you allow the rods, because they're exposed, it will introduce rusting, and then we go into the entire pile cap, and that will destroy it, and that is catastrophic. So nothing to worry about. The number of piles that have been spade, that are big enough to hold this. But the Federal Executive Council had directed that there should be no dredging 10 kilometers radius in all the bridges nationwide. And that is a dredging machine. So where was the dredging machine going? We saw dredging on that top mainland bridge. And Beja has warned that should this dredging continue, that bridge was going to collapse. We've had meeting with Navy. We said, please patrol the waterways. No sand filling, no dredging in all the bridges in Lagos. And of course, other places, very important. So why I say this is that it is our responsibility to ensure that we don't allow people to trade. We don't allow illegal mining of, on the bridges, inside the water, because all the piles in Lagos are being held by skin friction. What it means is that it's the sand that is holding it. It's the sand that is holding it. So if you remove the sand, the piles will start doing like this, dangling. It's very dangerous. So I want to assure you that we are going to, I've told the engineer Danny, we are going to locate, a machine, robotic kind of machine, that will be able to do the diving. We see everything happening, inside the water in all our bridges, so that we will not be spending huge money to ask divers and so on and so forth. It's costing a lot of money. So it's going to help us to locate that machine. And we would like to buy it, because we want to declare, I don't want to use, bridge emergency, on our bridges, bridge emergency, to understudy what is happening 53 years after we constructed these bridges, not only in Lagos, but nationwide. And so in the coming week, we will be making available the projects that are going to be commissioned by Mr. President from the first day of May. And we also make available projects that will be commissioned by December. This we are going to do. And so I want Nigerians to have hope, in renewed hope administration. We are building for the future, and inherited projects are given adequate attention. Time will not allow us to run again what we are doing zone by zone. But I want to thank you for your commitment and the partnership. I see that the hall is filled up. So we welcome questions, we welcome remarks, and we thank God for you. Thank you.
Please, can we welcome the Honorable Minister with a rousing ovation? Can we all stand to welcome the Honorable Minister? Thank you, Excellency, for that thought-provoking address of yours.